What's up? Welcome to Off the Floor, where we talk about stuff that happens on the floor. Yes, it's your boy Joe Stylez. You know, we in the RBC. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Prof. And guess who we have with us today? Legend in the making and still legendary. We have one of the main pioneers, top tier. She trains, she does everything. She's done more than you actually know. She doesn't really talk too much about it, but today we're gonna get to some of the nitty gritty. We're gonna ask her some pretty top tier questions, and to be honest, I'm really excited about this interview. I've seen some of her lives, I've seen some of her controversial rounds. I'm ready to get to the juice. All right, here we go. Welcome, Miss Prissy.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Super excited to be here. Shout out to you.
I appreciate that. Come on.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so we're going to start with a couple questions.
Okay.
First one, where you from?
South Central LA, representing Crenshaw District.
Come on, what was growing up there like?
I think growing up in South Central was pretty cool to me. I mean, people had different kind of experiences, some better, some worse, but I feel like I had a really structured, childhood. My mother being Central American, I'm first generation American, so I just had a different set of rules that I lived by in my house, and I think that it helped shape who I am today. Yeah,
that's fire. Off the camera, I talked to your mom's dad. That little woman is strong.
She is.
Wonder Woman. If y'all ever get a chance to see Wonder Woman, you're lucky. She's top tier.
Yep.
So, you meet her, then you understand why her mindset is as strong as it is, which is fire.
Thank you.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing for me to get to interact with your moms.
Yeah.
Fire. Appreciate that. So, another question. When did you first get into dance, and what styles that you was drawn to in the beginning? Like, what was your main things when you first started?
This is going to be a lengthy answer. I started to identify as a dancer, I want to say, when I was about 2 years old. My mom took me to her best friend's daughter's performance at Dorsey High School, where I saw ballerinas. I was 2 years old, sitting on her seat. And I was so captivated by what I was seeing that I jumped off her seat and ran to the stage. Nope. She couldn't find me. And when she did, I was asleep on the side of the stage. I was imitating everything that I saw. And so prior to that, my first influence to dance is like most of us, Michael Jackson. And I was Friday night entertainment for my family. When I got home that Friday night, it wasn't Michael Jackson that I wanted to do. It was ballet. And my dad saw that, and I want to say from the age of 3 until 43, I've been dancing. There's never been a day that I haven't danced.
That's fire. So this is actually a fire thing to hear. It's like, so we got the Queen of Krump, started out as a ballerina.
Yes, I did.
Which is crazy. So you was pointing your toes instead
I sure
of stomps?
was. Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, I think it was necessary for me to take that path. I think it was just a complete difference of what was going on in my community. I grew up on a street that they shot boys in the hood. It wasn't no ballerinas in my neighborhood. And so my mother, that contrast was necessary. And I think that contrast is also what brought me to street dance. Just always being like an inquisitive child, wanting to see what was going outside on the streets, but my mother kind of keeping me on the straight and narrow, like the horse shutters, like, yo, you're gonna do ballet, you're gonna do tap, you're gonna do jazz. And I saw street dance going on, but I never participated until I was 18.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So for about 15 years, you didn't touch street dance?
Not at all. I trained in, like you, West African dance. I went to Lula, Washington. Then I trained in tap. I trained in ballet. I went to A-Lee for, I think, maybe 6 months until I messed my knees up.
Come on.
But I had a very serious relationship to the dance, serious relationship. That was my lover, my best friend, my wellness, my safety. Yeah.
Man, but as you... What you saying, everything you just said about how you started into dance, which I'm pretty sure, hearing all, especially what you talking about, A-Lee and ballet and all of this, I'm pretty sure you're understanding the movement is really high. So it makes complete sense why you view even Krump the way you do. You know what I'm saying? So another thing, what's like your biggest inspiration? I'm pretty sure mom's is one of them. But
yeah, of course. My mother is definitely one of my biggest inspirations. But I think change is inspiring.
Ooh,
just having more of a connection to sound, not necessarily dance. I think that dancers these days don't really try to connect to sound. Right? I talked about this in my class yesterday at UNLV, how to become a great dancer or performing artist, you have to have a really strong connection to sound. And that doesn't necessarily mean music. There are many of us as artists that don't need music, but we need that So when you get into that relationship, you start to hear those sounds in music, and then your body starts to have a relationship with it, and then you create from that. I think that's how Krump got here. Music change, life change, sound change. It's time to change the style of dance.
I couldn't agree. I swear I couldn't agree. Remember what I told you off the camera? I wish we would have got this on the camera. I really rock with your mindset on how you move, like how you move towards the entity of that is dance. Not even just, oh, I can dance, but the entity of it's being its own thing, like its own living thing, you know?
Totally.
So I can see that when you're expressing even verbally, physically, emotionally, because usually when you watch people dance, they only showing you like the physical part of it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Totally.
even when you was teaching yesterday and I was listening to you, when you're talking about the emotion behind the sound, it's not just a sound. It's you're connecting with what it's doing, how it's doing, what it's saying, when it's saying it.
Absolutely.
So like everything you were saying was really, really fire. And I hope the ones that were taking the class were actually listening to that heavy.
No, me too.
That heavy, that was really heavy. And if they did, then you start realizing that you don't necessarily have to be so scared to interpret it how you interpret it.
Exactly.
That was such a gem yesterday. I was like, oh, I really hope they got that.
Yeah, I feel like structures of class have changed. Dancers walk into classes in hopes to learn choreography, not necessarily a feeling or a connection to dance, but just to hope to possibly find a new dance to imitate on TikTok. That's not my relationship to dance.
Come on.
Dance is my saving grace. Dance speaks for me when words can't. It fights for me when I'm too scared to fight for myself. And I think that that's why our relationship is unbreakable. A lot of people ask me, was it a challenge to go from being a ballet dancer into a street dancer? And I didn't feel it as a challenge. It was a change. It's just, okay, I'm used to this classical music that I am doing port de bras arms and demi-pliés, but now I'm dancing to rugged lines and stretch sound, and now I have to teach my body how to emote that kind of energy.
That is so fire. And that was perfectly put, because I knew exactly what you were saying. Like, perfectly put. That was good, man.
Thank you.
Like, as we're having this conversation, like being able to hear how your terminology can change, I was like, okay, look at that. Hit you with a quick little terminology. Like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can say the verbiage when I need to say the verbiage.
Yeah.
But I can also kind of dial it back when I need to. And
Absolutely.
I noticed that you meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
Like when you were teaching, you didn't give something that they just can't do.
Right.
Like you met them where they are in their rawness or their buckness or what you were trying to portray, and trying to teach them through the lens of trying to get them to see through their own lens.
Yeah.
So that was fire. You met them where they was, which is a true teacher to
I
me.
think like also too, simplicity allows a dancer to see where they are with music. Like I said, I'm 43 now. So I done seen dance go from the RoboCop to the WAP to the heel toe. I've been in all those spaces, and it's crazy how this generation rushes through sound to where they don't even allow themselves to get like in a relationship with the music. It's just a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5.
It is.
And it's like, yo, I didn't even, it was so fast, I didn't catch it.
It's all about speed.
It is.
You right. And I ain't saying I'm the best at picking up choreo. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. But it is times when you go and take class and you go, okay, 5, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You like, bruh, we did 64 counts and it hasn't even been a bar.
It hasn't even been a. This is like 5 counts. What does that mean?
And that's another thing. Sometimes the moves be lacking meaning.
Yes.
It's like, if the song change, I would expect the feeling of your movement to change.
Yes.
So even like, and that's why when you came in earlier, like, and I do this sometimes with different dancers, especially ones that I like the thought process. I'll watch them. I'll put their clip up and then put on something else, and just to see if I can still see them versus the music. But if I can't see them, like
we have that in common,
right? It's like I can see you. You're like, oh, I can see that person. Like and then if I turn the music off, I can still see them.
Yo, I do that when I look at clips on Instagram, especially like when people are telling me who like the top 5 is, and it doesn't necessarily just mean Krump.
I know what you mean.
But I'm just like, let me see what y'all look like with no sound, and it's like, yo, I don't feel you. You look like a script.
Come on.
Well read.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Come on. It's like I don't
it's
feel
super
you.
Weird. Yeah.
It's like eye candy. You look the part.
Yes.
But when it sounds hollow. It's hollow. It's like
I was here dancing hollow.
Come on.
No souls. No souls.
Nothing.
Real talk.
And like you can see somebody dance and they do one move and you go,
yes.
You get goosebumps. You're like, yo, what was that?
Yeah, because you could see their story.
Come on.
You could see the story. Back in the day when we were creating Krump, people used to jab at Lil C because he would take his time. He would do maybe just the same move over and over again. I
ain't gonna front.
He's still one of my top 5.
I seen him do something one time and even to this day, I tell people, I was like, yo, he was getting off and doing his thing. He did a little shoulder roll like this, and it just went up and boom.
Yes.
He stopped, looked.
Yes.
I said, oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, but he is one of the reasons why Krump has slowed down so much. People used to scribble, scrabble Krump.
I believe it.
That etch-a-sketch Krump, and now it's like, when you're writing a story, your thesis, your hypothesis, your summary.
I can see that.
That's where Krump is now. People are now telling stories as opposed to gossip, quick gossip. That's what it had looked like for a long time.
You know what? I think on one of your lives, I think I heard you talking about this before.
Yeah.
I think maybe once or twice you was talking about how people they just kind of just blurt out.
Yes.
They just blurt out their Krump. Mm-hmm. And then, I meant to ask you this question. Mm-hmm. If it's blurted out, right, is it even still Krump? Like if it's like, and this is just me asking, cause like it's a real question from the artist in me.
Yes.
Like if they just like, blah 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 blah, like what is like, is it? Would you still consider that a form of it, or like what would you say that would be?
So I'll give 2 answers to appease 2 parties, right?
Okay.
So the first is maybe that's your preference. Maybe you like being yelled at. I know I don't listen when people yell at me.
Come on.
Right? So it's like, it's almost like that argument that you get in and it becomes, and you ain't never did and did it. And it's just like, yo, why are we raising our voice? Like, let's have a conversation.
Come on.
So it's like when the Krump looks screamy, argumentative and aggressive, that could be someone's choice. But for me, I like the well thought out.
Come on.
Real chill. We'll take your time.
Experience,
and to each his own. I just know that it's a lot of styles in Krump now. And a lot of teachers go and teach their style, but not Krump.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like, you go into this class with said dancer and you're walking out looking like said dancer, as opposed to looking like that you got into a relationship with Krump. No, you just got into a relationship with this dancer. And now this dancer is luring you to be a little homie. That's how it starts.
And I like how you said it, like little homie, like
Yeah.
Like I'm up under that. That's
yeah, I don't really like that.
That's crazy. We'll get into that topic later. All right. So to piggyback off of this, I'll go to another question. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Krump has evolved, or it's like it's stagnant, or like it doesn't get enough inspiration from other things, and like it could or it should, or Again, just do you think it's
So,
stagnant?
Speaking on Krump as a culture, we still need growing. But the dance has evolved. I'll take myself as an example. I don't dance anything like I did in Rise. It would be a shame if I did, because we talk about in the film how Krump changes every day.
Facts.
You know, and so when I look at the culture and the community, it is still a little stagnant, you know, as opposed to like, let's look at the Red Bull events. They have a whole B-boy section for Red Bull.
Come on.
We have that same energy. We probably have a greater audience. But because there is no initiative to work together to get us to that space, we don't get there. And so Krump stays in like this little parking space instead of taking over the parking lot.
That's good.
Yeah. It's the mentality of the dancer in Krump, right? We go to these sessions and we like let's take the 818. The 818 is in a parking lot at North Hollywood parking lot, right? At the North Hollywood what is it? The park. But everyone, instead of using the entire space, uses a parking space.
That's crazy. How long has they've been going to?
The 818 has been going on since before I had kids. My oldest is about to be 17.
That's crazy.
You know, and it's just like...
And I still hear about the 818.
The 818 is really authentic Krump, because it's not controlled by a battle scene. It's controlled by energy. Like, I talked to another dancer and I asked him what emotes the energy that you need to get in the cypher. And it's like, oh, if somebody dancing tight. I said, wow, that's it? Like, not the outside, like everybody just out, like community, laughing, hugging, like those, nobody missed that anymore in Krump. Like the camaraderie, it's crazy. Like it's going away. It's going away. We gotta fix that.
Right, would you say that's I won't say not evolved, but something that it's forgetting?
Yeah, because we're turning it into a battle dance.
Come on.
We on Rise 6.0 right now, because every time I go 6.0 because we keep trying to create that same narrative.
Come on, you're right.
Like,
you're right, 100%.
How many more battles we doing?
Come on, you're
Krump
right.
is an art form. We're so much bigger than just a battle dance.
You're right. And even now, just hearing about it, it's like people. Oh, dang, you're right. I'm sitting there thinking about different places. I've been and went to different competitions, different battles, and realizing that anytime somebody want to feel like they're going harder at the person, they start trying to crumb. And then, to be honest, majority of the time they be trash. When they try to do it.
Basura.
Basura for sure. In the nicest way I can say that. Basura.
Basura.
You see, the person that went and got off, and they like, I'm about to go. I don't know what else to do. So I think one of the homies told me, like, when in doubt, spaz out. I was like, oh, no. And he was like, that's what, and it was a joke. He was like, bruh, this is what they do. When in doubt, spaz out. It's like,
wow.
That's nasty. Not because it's hype and you done built it up, and now it's time to, all right, I'm about to take these fools through it.
Wow.
Now it's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm about to go crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's becoming a battle dance now, though, versus a way to express.
Though. I don't know, like, I had this energy after Rise because La Nina we were really close. And I watched how that film depicted us, and it kind of left like a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to battling. Krump saved me, like saving grace, wings, caught me.
That's fire.
You know, and it's like La Nina inspired me to become a clown dancer. And here I am in this space with her of allowing others to judge what we look like. And then I watched what the film did to her career and who she was to me. I started to have a different relationship with battling at that point. I said, Marquisa, you will not battle unless you really got a problem with somebody.
Man, that makes so much sense. Dang, so it kind of distorted the relationship a little bit?
Imagine sitting in Sundance and hearing, and I'm sitting with La Nina, and people are booing her and yelling for me.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? That does something to someone's psyche.
And that narrative was probably like the way it was, like you said, the way it was. Now I'm thinking about it, even me thinking about as I was watching, I'm like, man, the way it was depicted, the narrative, you would have never knew that y'all was actually like cool like that.
We was hella cool.
you would have never knew that y'all was actually like that cool. I didn't know until just now.
Yeah, we were very tight.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So to be in that space with someone who I looked up to someone that definitely inspired the wind in my wings, and to be in a space with her like almost like it's combative, felt so unreal that I never wanted to feel that again. Now, real shit, I've definitely battled tons of times after that, but it has to be provoked by a certain kind of energy. I'm not the girl that's going to be on the battle card.
Come on.
I'm not her. I'm the pop quiz. I like the pop quiz. Let's not get set tracks.
You know I'm taking that after you said that to me.
Yeah.
I said,
pop quiz, my Krump.
I said, I'm about to. I said, I got to take that. I got to take that one.
Yeah.
Because like everybody be like ready for the test showing up versus like.
But you studied.
Yeah, it's like. How about this pop quiz? Let's just go to whatever.
Yeah.
Say no. I need the right shoes. I need the right time. I need to be rested. It's like I need the right music.
Yeah, that's not what Krump was built on.
Come on.
At all.
That's fire. You pretty much just asked you just answered the next question I was about to ask you for sure. Another question though. Here we go. How do you see Krump's influence on the mainstream dance today? Do you feel that it gets the credit it should?
I've been told by several creative directors and choreographers in the dance community in Hollywood that Krump feels like a backpack of bullshit. Yes. Those are the right words. I'm not watering it down. That's exactly what was told to me. And it was like, it's only cool when you, Little C, and Tight Eyez do it. Like, after that, it looks like a backpack of bullshit. And it hurt to hear that so deeply because Krump is my baby. Like, that's the first thing I've ever helped birth before I had my kids. So to hear that our evolution, not creation, because Krump is not creation, it's just an evolution of clown dancing, something that me and the homies evolved is looked at as bullshit. Oh no, I challenged that. This is how I ended up on tour with Madonna. This is how I ended up in Stomp the Yard. Because I'm challenging, I'm going against what you're saying to show, like, hey, we're not just a battle dance. I could get in heels and Manolo Blahniks on tour with Madonna, crumping in Manolo Blahniks.
Come on, talk your talk.
Still making it sexy, still making it rugged. You put me in Stomp the Yard. We're going to coach Chris Brown on the side so he can get the energy.
Come on.
Because you're not going to tell me that something that has helped me deal with aggression, pain, adversity is bullshit.
That's crazy. But you know what, though? I believe it.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that's the, even for me, I've had my own little personal run-ins that end up turning me into, like I said, like kind of a a-hole to a degree when you start talking to other people that's only been taught a narrative. It's not even their mindset.
Yeah.
It's like you talk to them about whether it's street dance, whether it's crump pop, whatever the street dance of diaspora is, that that's creating the inner cities, whatever that is being frowned upon, and then you meet them with that same energy about what they do. Now you're mean. Now you know what I'm saying? Like, or you're coming too aggressive. It's so I for sure don't doubt that they've said those kind of things because they said it about every style that comes in that they can't do or can't monopolize. And I'm not gonna front. I think Krump is one of the hardest ones to monopolize off of.
Very much so.
Because it's so us. It's so black.
DNA. It's so cellbound.
It is, and it's in the nicest way to say everybody can do it. But it was inner city.
Yeah, it's built on South Central's back.
Come on, inner city. So it's so now when it's being presented, it's hard to tap into those roots if you're not. Because
you have those that crump and then you have those that get off. It's a difference. It's a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
It is.
I hate when people are like, I'm a crumper. Okay. Like, stop saying that. Just get out there. Just get out there. I've been crumping for, like, what? I've been dancing and having a relationship to sound since I was 3 years old.
When I hear people say I'm a crumper, it does sound
It's
crazy.
like I'm a hip hopper. It's weird.
I'm a dancer. Man, look, it sounds crazy. It's like, I dance, I'm a dancer. But then, like you said, I'm a krumper.
Yeah.
I'm a locker. I'm a this. You like.
I just dance.
And you know, and
I do what the music tell me to do.
Right. And to be honest, I didn't start hearing that until I got into, I'm gonna say more what they call the professional field. I didn't hear none of the separations.
Oh, the labels.
Yeah, a better word for sure. The labels until I got started going to auditions. And what you do, I was like, I dance. I'm a dancer. Well, what style you do? I dance. I guess you can say I do this. But I dance, you know, and then once you start seeing they do that to labels so they can kind of
put you in boxes, yeah. Totally.
That part.
The world loves to put you in a box.
Come on.
I don't like boxes. Only for gifts.
Come on, right?
Only for gifts.
Like I want this, but never that.
Never that. Exactly.
Come on. But to be honest, I'm glad that you can vocalize that and not be afraid to actually, you know what I'm saying, say those things like, no, this is what they said about our dance that they're actually trying to teach now.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like,
they want it so bad.
We're gonna put this in there. We're gonna put this. Like, wait a minute. You just said
we was a backpack of bullshit.
You said it was. And
totally. But they did that to black people.
Absolutely.
They told us that we wasn't shit until we built this entire nation.
And then when that happened, now it's like, oh, you like...
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. That's another conversation. Come on. That's another conversation.
But the crazy part is, it's weird, because even though it is another conversation, it's low-key in the same conversation.
Still, yeah, it is.
It's like, yeah.
Real talk, and I'm not trying to, I'm not slicing nobody. I'm just a realist.
Come on.
I get irritated when I see white people teaching krump.
Come on. Look.
I do.
I get it.
Because how can you teach it?
Come on.
How can you, I don't care how many battles you've won. How are you equipped to teach krump?
Come on.
Because it's not just a dance that you're teaching. It's not a TikTok. This is a culture.
Yeah.
Developed by African American people.
Come on.
So how are you?
From struggle.
How are you teaching this? Do you know where this energy comes from? That's cell-bound energy of being whipped as a slave.
Come on.
You don't know those things. You don't know those things.
Talk that talk.
You don't know those things. So when I get under these posts and I say these things, this community that we're in now is, Prissy don't want the new generation. No. Because my daughters are the new generation. What I want is to keep this in the hands of black people.
Come on. And right now, for me, I'm not going to hold you. Everywhere I be traveling, and seeing people teach, sometimes you're like, why is this person teaching? And no diss. It's like prime example, like I can't teach. I can only if I was a top tier Russian ballet dancer, I can't. They won't let me be in Russia teaching Russian ballet as a brother from America.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was Russian.
Maybe choose Russian.
Maybe.
You see how it's different though when it's black art put on other people. It gets taken
completely.
But what's that dance they're doing in Ireland? They be like, you don't see DeAndre teaching that, or Starkeisha. She's not teaching that.
Come on.
Kimberly or Samantha is teaching that.
Come on, but that's the truth.
People be like, Prissy, you're racist. There is not any black person in the black diaspora that can be racist. We don't own enough to be racist. I am prejudiced though when it comes to my people. Very prejudiced.
And you know what's crazy? The thing is, everybody is.
In some degree, yeah, for sure.
It's like the difference is, for me, what I notice is that we're not allowed to be.
That's weird.
It's like, and I think the reason why I believe that is why people get so offended when we exercise our right to be prejudiced to a degree, like everybody else does. Because we create so much.
Yeah.
And if we become prejudiced, nobody has nothing. Like, it's like whether it's the swag.
Whether it's the swag.
Whether it's this, whether it's this. Like, whether it's whatever.
Look at Dapper Dan. You remember when Gucci tried to shut down Dapper Dan because he was making more hot shit than them off their own brand?
Off their own brand.
Wait, they do that to us all the time.
And the stuff he make right now is still tight. I was watching some of his, I said, yo,
still tight.
Dapper Dan was...
It's a white girl right now on the internet teaching twerking classes.
Which is nasty work. I remember when it was shunned upon. They used to be like, oh, that's
ghetto. And she out there like...
I remember when they used to be like, it's ghetto. When they used to say that, like...
It's not, though. It's just like a black woman in bamboos.
Come on.
And a white woman in bamboos at work. It's different. She's stylish and I'm ghetto.
Come on. I
A white woman with long nails.
They said it with cornrows.
Yes.
Like now they got the cornrow with the man bun. It's okay. But when I tried to get a job with my cornrows, it was like, nah.
Exactly.
It's like, nah. But again, all of that is tied into
Krump.
for sure. Like now it's like even with popping, right? Popping is now considered like, of course it's mostly like other races doing it. Mm-hmm. But when we were doing it and we were the only ones, like especially like the blacks and the Latinas, when that was the only group of people doing it, it wasn't no love. But soon as little Becky can go,
but soon it don't do the shoulder roll.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is great. We should put ballet and popping together. But y'all said when I did this, that I can't teach it because I'm not qualified.
Man,
because I ain't got a bachelor or a PhD in ballet, but y'all can learn a little bit. And I used to have a little situation with So You Think Can Dance for a while, where they would bring, they would make anybody that does the street dance conform to the real rules of what, whether it be ballet, whether it be cha-cha, rumba, any of these styles, they would force them to, oh, your foot wasn't pointing. But then they would give them a watered-down version of hip-hop in any street dance. Like, oh, man, you really did that hip-hop. No, you didn't really give them the real deal.
It's always like that with street dancing.
It is.
It's always, it has to be packaged a certain way for it to be accepted in society.
Agreed.
That's why I feel like Krump, which is hip hop, we're just the redhead stepchild. That's all. I talk to the community all the time that is in disagreements, but I'm like, these same, we first heard that in Dipset.
Come on.
Cassidy, Busta, he's not a Krump artist.
Come on.
He's Jamaican influenced in hip hop.
I agree 100%. But you know, like even like you said, like it's such a disarray or such, like you said, like it's everybody can't come on one page in, you know, say in the Krump community. I've had some of my homies say, yeah, Krump is hip hop, and then my other homies say Krump isn't. And then when you start asking around, it's such a big. Some people say I don't care, bro. But like you said, like I think that's the only issue of why other people don't know what to call it. It's
the issue of the lack of like information when it comes to the truth about Krump.
Come on.
Which is the name of my book.
Come on, we're going to talk about that too. Come
on. There's so much miscommunication because said person is giving their version of what Krump is to them and making it Bible.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? When we open the Word of God, we have the book of Genesis. We have Revelations. We have, do you know what I'm saying? And when we go through these obstacles in Krump, as a founder, as a pioneer of street dance, I'm like, yo, since they trying to rewrite Krump, I wonder if books weren't rewritten in the Bible based on people's preferences.
Man,
this is what's going on in the culture. The reality of the situation is all the founders of Krump are still living and breathing. So there is no reason why we can change a narrative. We can never say that Prissy didn't come from Tommy. Tight Eyez didn't come from Tommy. We all came from there. And then prior to that, we were in the low budget, lay low clowns. It's like Division D1 basketball. We got scouted to the NBA, which was Tommy the Clown. I'm just being real.
Say that again.
That D League. We was on the D League first. We had the big white jumpsuits on. It was 77 of us in a clown group. We used to be in a charter bus going to do parties. 77 dancers. We were the biggest clown group in South Central LA, Lay Low Clowns. That's where I started.
77 is
Tight Eyez, Miho, Big Pico, rest in peace. That's where we started. Little C started with the second biggest clown group. So he was there before all of us. He started with Homeboy the Clown.
That's crazy.
Then we got scouted to Homeboy. And then from getting scouted from Homeboy, we got scouted to Tommy the Clown. We can't erase none of that history because we are all still alive.
Here. Agreed. You
get what I'm saying? Yep. So when you have said person continuously trying to smudge that out, you're trying, you're attempting, because we're going to use that word. You're attempting to erase my history, Miho's history, C's history, Dragon's history, and all the others, Foolish, Lil Pico, Jay Pico.
Dang.
You're trying to erase that. That is our foundation. That's what we stand on.
But like you said, all of y'all are still...
We're still alive.
Here. It'd be... because right now with the, and I'm only using Nicholas Brothers and all of them because now they ain't really here to tell their story.
Shout out to Kathy Nichols.
Come on, talk your talk. But yeah, like any of that, it's like, man, being able to still speak your piece.
Yeah.
And being able to really still tell your story.
Yeah.
What's the book called again?
The Truth About Krump.
Come on, we'll keep plugging it, okay?
It's my first book deal through the university that I teach at. The book will be available to all universities in the nation.
That's fire, big dog. Yes.
That's my contribution to Krump. I feel like that's another thing that people don't understand. It's like we all listen, well, excluding myself and others, this community listens to said person because this person is exhausting that one possibility of Krump, which is battling.
Yeah.
But this person wants Krump read about in the Library of Congress, just like ballet, just like tap, just like jazz. Those are the...
Come on, Catherine Dunham.
You know, that's not true.
Come on, Catherine Dunham.
Come
on.
And it's just like that contribution that I'm putting forth.
And it's needed.
It's needed, just like the battling is needed. But if we can get this community to understand that both of those weigh the same thing.
They really do. And for me, you got one that's like, and I guess like you said, both are for sure important. But the one that can't, when you put, like you said, putting the book in these libraries, eventually, like right now, Krump is arguing with itself, right?
It's so
it's
weird.
Turmoil. But what happens when everybody's gone? It
That
can
book.
be. And if something isn't there in place, it can be snatched, colors can be changed, history can be rewritten, and Miss Prissy might not even be a sister no more. Like Miss Prissy
it
might be a completely different
person.
Come on, when they do a bio situation,
they may say I grew up on a farm.
Come on. South Central was a farm. Like that changed the whole
Exactly.
the whole outlook on it and repackage it.
But let me tell you how that happens. It's about taking our creation and you place it in someone else's hands to make those executive decisions.
Come on.
You got to keep the creation within the community.
Agree.
And hey, we may not all trust each other, but we should trust each other enough to know that we want this to thrive, not survive.
Come on.
Thrive. And if we all can get on that one page, it don't even have to just be me, C. People get so lost in us that they forget about Foolish. They forget about Pico. They forget about Moe, the rejects that came out with the... We all got to get on one accord. This book that I'm writing, I feel sad that we are not all one conglomerate anymore, that they can't come in and write their chapter.
That'd be tight.
But I know that I'm an honest woman of God, that I can write that chapter in a non-biased energy and make everyone still be what they are. Great.
That's fire.
God, watch where you put your baby. I'm not dropping my baby off at that house. They don't watch kids.
Come on, look.
You know you scan through before you drop your baby off. You're like, let me see.
Man, look,
your house be dirty.
I'll drive another 30 minutes and pay a little extra.
Pay a little extra.
Come on, you know, hey, it's extra $60 a day. For
exactly.
You know what?
It's cool.
It might be cheaper, but...
You got the Scooby snacks in your house clean.
Come on.
For real.
But yeah, that right there, like, it really is... I think it really is good. And what I've been noticing after... just tapping into a lot of the street dance styles. Like, what I started to notice is everybody has almost the same situation. And what it is, I think it's no longer just about who is doing it. It needs to be, why are we not doing it? It's like locking. Like all these guys created a style, and it was like 6 or 7 of them. You got this many. Nobody's name is nothing is copywritten, nothing is in ownership. Scooby-Doo, You can't lock without doing a Scooby-Doo. Why is that not trademarked when you got, China got 1.7 billion people, at least 300 million people is teaching Scooby-Doo at their classes.
Wow.
Why is he not getting compensated? Or even you got the Skeeter, right? You got all these.
Yeah.
So it's the same, it's like, then you got these things in Tap, which is like you got these movies that was made up in this situation. Then you got Juke, and you got all these things, and now we can't even say they can't do it by law. So it's like you said, getting to the point to where being able to have the control by law, like you said, and to a degree where it's like, no, they saying this, but we already said this before they even started teaching it. Like this book has already been here, and this information has been out already so long that 5 years from now, somebody that's just now getting into it and they done put their little 10 years in, and now you're 70, they say, oh, this is what this is. I wrote that book like mad long ago, so you can't say that. You wasn't even doing it when this was created. So I think for sure that is important to have stamps in history, because it's done been so many of our creations in dance that has just been
Yeah.
They started calling it urban dance. Bro, you're trying to do hip hop choreo. You just don't want to say it's that. Like this is urban.
Yeah.
This is urban dance. When that was a thing, I was like, this is crazy. Y'all trying to do Running Mans. Y'all trying to add Cabbage Patch. Y'all doing Ticks. Y'all doing. Wait. And then you got Link, even Link, Mop Top, and all of them. It's like they got names that they created, and it's like, when they're going, the narrative can be changed if there's nothing that's been concreted in.
All I'm trying to do, and I'm not one to mimic others. I like to be original, but all I am trying to do.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, yep. I'm good. All I'm trying to do is give Krump an educational component.
Come on.
Right now, my sister and I, we have an after-school program called Right Solutions. We go to different junior high schools every 2 weeks in the area of Lancaster and Palmdale, and we teach financial literacy, wellness, and Krump therapy.
Come on.
Krump therapy. That's very important.
Fire. Krump. Elaborate on that for me.
So for me, because we're serving poverty-stricken communities, we have the conversation about what's going on in their community, and we allow the conversation to move us in Krump.
Come on.
Oh, I'm going through this at home. Let's talk about it through the dance. The same way that I came into street dance, wanting to talk about what I was dealing with as a child, as a young teen. I needed to talk about that and not be judged.
Come on.
Dance.
That's fine.
And so I'm not teaching them Krump in a space to go outside and weaponize it and use it against someone. I'm using Krump for them as wellness.
Come on.
You going through this and you don't want to bomb on somebody? Lab up. Session up. Get some homies. Session up. Because that's what the session is for. It's to mend.
Come on.
That is the hugest part of Krump, and we have now put that shit in the third place.
And to be honest, now that makes sense why those battles was always the craziest. Because like you said, it's a form of therapy.
Yes.
That they didn't, like you said at the time, they probably didn't even know that they was even embarking in that space. And now, with more of a nurturing guidance, you can kind of guide them through it, which I think is phenomenal. All right, so here we go. And this question I know you're going to like, because I know you want to answer this one.
Okay.
How do you think women are portrayed in Krump? Come on, talk it. Do you think, with the representation of women in Krump, how do you feel about women's space?
Because I don't want to roll my eyes too much. Because I think, it's my fault. That's number one. Let me take my glasses off and say that.
Come on.
It's my fault that women look like what they look like in Krump. And that's not to say that it's good, bad, or indifferent. But I just got tired of the battle scene and wanted more out of my dance.
Come on.
And I took it elsewhere, to the stage.
That makes sense. Ooh.
And when I took it to the stage, it was frowned upon because people were under this false preconceived notion that Krump is strictly battle dance and Krump is strictly from a masculine presence.
Come on.
That's my fault. Because when I left, which women were there?
Agreed. Especially outspoken and ready to say
Exactly.
and stand on they.
And it's and Daisy, I love her to death, but she's second generation, so she's gonna come in being what? A follower. So you're gonna be trained by men. And you're going to imitate masculine energy because that's who is pouring into you.
It makes sense, though.
In the cartoon family, it was me, Andrea, Nana, Choo Choo, Girl 1, Girl 2, and we all looked like women.
Which is fire.
And how Krump looked on us, to this day, I don't see that. Because they left. I stayed. I never left Krump. Pregnant, in the session, Krumping. Had a stroke with my first child. Got right up and still Krump. Only one side of my body couldn't work. I was still on that because it was my what? Like I said, my wellness, my therapy. And so when I saw that Krump could do more for me outside of the battlefield, that was so much more enticing. To be photographed in Vogue because of the way my body looked crumping. To be on Vanity Fair because of the way I look as a crumper. I said, oh no, I'm not going back to that. And so when that happened for me, it was like, no, that's elevation. We're evolving. I'm like the Grace Jones of this street shit.
Come on.
So we're going to keep pushing. Exactly.
What am I doing? I ain't going to the parking lot.
I'm not going to the parking lot no more. And then when I got to the parking lot, because I always touch home.
Come on, makes sense.
I got here and immediately touched home.
You did.
I don't play about touching home.
You did.
But we can't just stay at home, bro. We can't just stay at home, bro. Get your passport up.
Come on, we can't just
stay at home.
Come on, you're right.
My daughters right now are going with me to Syracuse to perform, not to battle.
Come on.
To perform.
But like you said, like sharing that and, being able to not ask for a space. Because that's kind of what I'm trying to teach my daughter. Like,
take space.
I'm not asking, can I get off? I'm about to get off.
Yeah.
Like,
and guess what? The get off gonna look like what it's supposed to look like on me. Right now in Krump, it has been brought to me that I don't Krump. Like, Prissy is on some other shit. Yeah, because Krump changes every day. I can't keep looking like what I looked like 3 years ago.
Come on.
I have to continue to elevate. And right now, where I'm at with it, I feel so comfortable because I'm so in tune with my inner thoughts. I don't care about the hearsay. I'm not fighting for first, second, or third. No place. I'm just folktelling now.
Come on.
And if it come out rough, it come out rough. If it come out soft, it come out soft. But what it came out mine. Nobody else's story. Her story. They keep telling his story.
That's beautiful.
They keep telling his story.
Real.
Double entendre. His story.
Dang. Ooh, you're right.
I'm telling her story, and it's not supposed to look like his.
You're right about that. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
And again, as with you saying that, and being able to, like you said, tell her story.
Yes.
You coming back, like you said, like even here with sharing in the battle, judging. And allowing the other women see you like, yo, we can be strong and feminine at the same time. Because like to have a child, you have to be a woman, but you have to be strong too.
Oh yeah, because you could die.
Yeah. So you got to be both in order to birth something. And I think it wasn't a coincidence that it was only, it's like you said, like a woman with your mindset that was around a bunch of masculine, strong men, especially boys. At the time, they don't know how to use their masculinity.
I'm the oldest out of the creators
They
of
just
Krump.
throw it around. So I think now, even in Krump now, sometimes masculinity gets thrown around as, because I'm more masculine than you, I'm better. That doesn't necessarily mean it to be true.
You said a story over here, and I know you got another question for me, but I'm going to stand on this, and people can come challenge me all they want. There will be no Krump without me.
Come on.
That's on my kids when they drop dead tonight.
Tell that story. Tell that one story that you told at your workshop when you said who you brung, where you like. Cause I didn't know that until you said it. At the workshop.
Lil C got kicked off of dancing for Tommy for things I can't disclose. At the time, I was his girlfriend. So what I'm gonna do? Follow suit. I'm gonna follow my man.
Come on.
He don't dance for Tommy no more. Neither do I. Tommy ain't got no beef with me, but you ain't got my nigga on here no more. So guess what? I'm following my dude.
Come on, real talk. Come on.
But guess what? We needed something else to do because Tommy done banned us. We can't clown dance no more. We can't go to no clown groups. Nothing.
That's crazy.
Lil C don't even want to dance no more.
He was so tight. And still
I'm
is.
like, no, we got to find something else to do. At the time, Mama Toon was already my G-mom, my street dance mom. Just on the strength because
Come on.
she was a powerful, dark-skinned black woman that was confident, and that was something that I had lacked.
Come on.
So I clung to her. So when we didn't have nowhere to go, I asked if I could come over there because they was in Compton. Her crew was whack.
Not the odds, though.
They were whack, and they will tell you they were whack. And I start going over there. Lil C, like, you going over there, they whack. They the wackest clown group. I was like, but they not in South Central. Tommy said we can't be nowhere in South Central. We go over there, they so whack, we could build a new style on them. I made some stuff up, and me and Lil C caught the bus over there, and I showed him what I had made up. And then he came. Then Tight Eyez came. Then Miho came. If I didn't take that first leap, there would be no Krump. There would be no Krump. We'll still be dancing for Tommy. We would still be, and that's a story that can never be scratched out of history because Mama Toon is still alive.
And she can say that.
The creators of the cartoon family, all of them are still alive. We weren't crumping with Tommy.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? So
Come on.
when we have said person saying that it's just him, it's all of us. I did what I was supposed to do as a woman, nurture. We talked about that.
Come on.
That's my job.
For sure.
You don't want to dance no more? How can I nurture you back to wanting to dance? Okay, let me go show you what I could do. And the only reason why I know how to do that, because I was already a dance teacher at 17 years old at my mom's job.
Come on.
So I already knew how to create choreography.
No, which, to be honest, which makes complete sense. And it makes sense why, like you said, like being able to nurture the scene.
Yeah.
Because right now right now the scene is only smack up, get discipline. But it's not, let me
Nurture.
breathe into you, let me breathe into you.
Yeah, it's no nurturing.
And that's why, even for myself, why I think it's so battle versus like grow. So, okay, here's something else for you. And I like how we can segue. I really rocks with your energy. So just a little bit about the. Do you think the reason Krump is in such a crazy turmoil is lack of representation from women being able to speak their piece and being able to actually step foot into the culture as a whole, creation wise, business wise, like just as a whole? What do you think could be done to make?
I think it's in shambles because women don't run it anymore. I ran Krump. I don't care what nobody say.
Come on.
I ran that like a sprinter. Shikari. Ran it.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
You know how I feel about that. Come
Mama
on.
Toon. Mama Toon nurtured about 28 of us in a 3-bedroom house. Nurturing us. I didn't have no job. When I tell you I went deep into street dancing, and my mom was like, you don't want to work?
Come on. Of
Get out
course.
my house.
Of course.
Get out my house.
Come
Mama
on.
Toon took me in. I slept on her floor while we was creating Krump.
That's crazy.
Mama Tasha, Daisy's mom, is the reason why I got signed to Block. Yes. Had my first commercial. Let's go with AT&T because of Mama Tasha.
That's
The
a fire
cartoons was
story.
in I Like the Way You Move.
Yeah.
Because of Mama Toon. Where was a dude? It was women running Krump.
But you know
That's
what?
why it was elevating.
But you know what though? That
Tight
makes-
Eyez and Lil C was in Be Cool crumping because of Mama Tasha.
You know what's crazy? That makes so
Mama.
much sense. Mom, like I'll say, oh snap.
Mama.
Now I'm thinking, I'm like,
Our conversation over there. Who
Yes.
nurtured you? A woman.
come on, it makes so much sense why you
It
say
doesn't
that now.
necessarily mean Mama Toon was teaching us anything. She was nurturing, pouring. That's a part of creation.
It is. You have to, like, too much discipline, you can't.
Exactly.
And what's happening right now is so much, like, I don't want to even say discipline, but it's so much, again,
It's gang.
masculine.
It's gang energy.
Yeah, it is.
Let me jump you in. Let me pack you out. What?
You right. Listen, no disagree here.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, here we go. Top 5 dancers dead or alive.
Wow. They don't have to be Krump, do they?
No.
Okay,
any,
cool.
Any.
Number 1, storyboard.
Look, he's crazy.
Number one is storyboard.
Storyboard is crazy.
That's number 1.
Storyboard is he is crazy.
Number 2, Sophia Botella. Sophia played on Mummy, but she also did the Hung Up tour with me and Madonna. Third to her would be Salah.
Come on, Salah.
Notice I ain't named a crumper yet.
Come on. And Sophia is tight.
Tight.
Crazy.
Extra.
Come on.
Saucy. Fourth, King Charles.
Absolutely.
His rhythm and timing is impeccable.
I say it all the time.
Like, what is we on? Like, why you this tight?
His rhythms be crazy.
Why you hear that?
It's like, I agree.
And guess what? Guess who my number 5 is? Tight Eyez. Because it don't matter to me that we don't get along. The reality is you're amazing.
He is. He is
dancing.
tight.
At dancing. At dancing.
I go for he is tight. He is. You're right.
I could put those 5 on a team and they're air everybody out of dance.
Agreed.
And it's a great representation of all styles because you got Storyboard, who's New York, Bruck Up, animation. You got King Charles, Chi-Town.
Come on.
Sophia, Paris. She came from rhythmic gymnastics.
She be doing some crazy stuff. She do.
Tight Eyez from South Central. He got the whole Krump gang, so that's cool. That's one for Krump.
Come on.
That's my top 5.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. That's a solid list.
That's a solid.
And I ain't gonna front. I knew when I first seen Storyboard, I said, bruh, you unreal.
I found him in the streets of Brooklyn, just standing on the side. Somebody had told me about him, but I had seen him in a video where he was dancing Devil and Prada or something by Rick Ross, and I flew myself to New York so I could find him. Right after I seen that video, my mom was like, where you going? I was like, I'm about to go find this dude in New York. I was shooting like a small documentary on like unsung heroes and street dance. Yeah. I found him. He was just standing there with a rose in his hand. I said, wow. Flew him to LA and I put him in this show that I did at USC, got him paid. Now he lives in LA.
Storyboard is shout out.
Shout out to Story. Salam.
Listen, man, he moves so unreal.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I
Big
like.
Salim in here.
Come on, I like to be able to. I
learned so much from him. He taught me how to open up.
Man, what?
That's why my Krump changed.
And he don't care.
Start learning how to control.
Man, when he
still
do those little, like, like even the
he got good knees. He got real good knees.
Come on,
real good knees and hips.
Man, he be moving. I seen him dance to. I knew he was crazy when he danced to. It was an old 70s track, and I love 70s music. It was Wishing on a Star.
Oh, yes.
I said, yo.
He's crazy.
I'm in a dream. This mug is crazy. Yeah. Like, Storyboard is,
he's nuts.
He is.
He's nuts.
All right, here we go. What is next for Miss Prissy?
Next for Miss Prissy, we got this book. I had to hold on putting the book out due to my personal life. I had some stuff going on, but it's going to come out this summer, so it will be available for the new class of 2025 in the fall. I have that going on. Like I said, I have the after-school program. I just got to deal with Cross Colors so that I could come out with my own Queen of Krump line. And that literally happened while I was driving here. Like, it just, you know, God is real.
Absolutely.
Forever keep God first. What else is going on? Some stuff I can't talk about yet.
All good. Or you can talk about it and we can just not share it until it's until you get the okay, then
right.
We can release it.
Well, I have this dream right now where I want to not necessarily like manage, but help get young dancers into Hollywood or some kind of activism work. So this is why I've been like super holding on to like the students that I have at LMU. I supply jobs for them right when they graduate. I have 2 of them right now teaching Krump.
That's fine.
You know, I got 2 and then 2 other Krumpers in Lancaster just so that I'm employing the community. That's my biggest thing. Like I want to be able to bread.
You got to supply. You got to be able to supply. Like even like I was telling some of the guys, you know most of them, where it's like, bro, we gotta create enterprise in order to get people paid. And not to get them paid just to get them paid, but to control the narrative. Yeah. Like you're gonna be like, you're gonna say yay to somebody that's gonna Krump with you even though they can't Krump, and you're gonna allow it because you gotta get that check. Yeah. But if there's somebody that's behind it, that's trying to help you get paid, and they respect the art, not just for the dough. I think makes a huge difference.
But it's also about the relay. You know, I done ran this race. Let me pass the baton, and let me help those when in places that I didn't get help in.
Come on.
You know, like I always looked up to Mama Toon and Mama Tasha because they were producers. They were producing spaces for us to dance, producing that next level that we were looking for with our dance, placing us in spaces where we can be seen. I aspire to continue to be that way. Continue.
Come on.
I'm only as good as the person I put on.
Agreed 100%.
That's it. If I'm not putting nobody on, let me get out the way.
Come on. That's fire.
Yeah.
So I got another one. And again, this is in the controversial situation.
That's cool. We got controversy.
So, of course. So what is the biggest, like, the issue with all of the creators? With the
There's
people?
There's only one issue, and the issue is Tight Eyez. He is the issue. I ain't never seen nobody switch out co-stars like him. Y'all got to look at the history. We got one Krump Kings DVD of him talking about me, him, Lil C. I'm sitting in a boxing ring when I had long hair.
I think I got that DVD too.
Then we got another Krump King DVD where he's saying that it's just him and Lil C, right?
Yep.
Switching the co-stars out again. Then we got another clip of him at his mother's house, rest in peace, of him saying that it's him and Miho. Then another clip of him saying that it's him and Dragon. Then now we got the clip out now that's saying it's just him. So who's the problem?
That is crazy.
That's some narcissist, multiple personality disorder if I ain't never seen one.
Come on. Would you?
That's the problem as black people, that crab in a bucket mentality. When I think about the endless possibilities of where we could still take Krump, imagine coming to a Krump event where it's just me, C, Eyez, Miho, and Dragon as the teachers. It's a wrap. There go your money for your kids' tuition. There go money for your kids' tuition. Nobody's thinking like that because it's still.
That'd be crazy.
It still is. I'm the best.
If y'all did a tour, it'd
be nuts.
Crazy. It'd be packed.
It'll be almond joy, nuts.
Come on.
Okay. I say this all the time. Like, why are y'all playing? Let's get this money. Let's get this money. People still want to see us on stage together.
They do.
At the same time, though.
So, I agree 100%. Even when the whole situation with Eyez and Miho going to battle, like, I was already like, y'all shouldn't be battling together.
No.
Y'all should be judging.
No, they should be fading.
I said to have both of y'all on there, I said to get that. I ain't saying.
No, but I think that they needed to do that because that's who they have always been in Krump. Miho and Eyez have always been that entity in Krump.
Agreed.
Where they just want to battle. You know, that was not me and C and Dragon.
Agreed, but.
Did you not know Dragon created the cover of Rise?
No.
Yes. Do you see the contribution?
That's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. We all playing positions.
And he didn't get compensated, did he?
None of us did. None of us did. Yeah.
I should have asked that question earlier.
I reached my first $1 million dancing for Madonna. It had nothing to do with Rise. That's when I became a millionaire with Madonna.
So not with Rise?
No, I didn't get any money for Rise. Nothing. None of us did. If they did, we wouldn't be still arguing over who made it up.
That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know y'all did. I thought y'all got paid a little bit, but I didn't know y'all didn't get
nothing.
You know how many people bought those DVDs?
We know.
Like,
I seen the dude bootlegging them in New York.
I had about 3 or 4 of them.
The crazy thing is, like, I've always been the voice, right? I've always been I'm going to say it because y'all not going to say it with your chest, so I'm going to say it.
Come on.
When we all had to sit down and go over the contract for Rise, everybody signed except for me. I would not sign it because I knew that the moment that I signed that, I would never be able to negotiate anything in my future. And so I created my own contract. And that's how I got me, C, Eyez was getting paid, Dragon was getting paid, Larry getting paid. I said, you guys are going to pay us at least $800 every time we go out and talk about Rise.
And come on.
I did that. And we was getting paid to talk about Rise.
And that's better. Man.
Better than nothing.
Come on. And again, like you said, you was young too at the time.
Yes.
Man.
But you got to be able to open your mouth and speak.
Come
and
on.
then deal with the consequences later.
But you know what though? I think at that time they were so used to mamas speaking up for them. Like you said, now it makes sense when you say women was running it. It makes sense. And we ain't talking about women. We talking about mamas. It does make sense. It's like when you think about it, it's like everybody's under 21. Who are they? Who's paying all the bills?
Exactly.
Who they staying with? Who's cooking the food?
Exactly.
Where are they living at?
100%.
Like, who's washing the dirty clothes? When they go out there and they run on, they do the little D-drop in the concrete. Who's washing those clothes?
The mothers.
The mothers are nurturing every bit of how they getting fresh, going in downtown, what money they using. That makes so much sense.
Telling you.
All right, and this is the part that, this was optional.
Okay.
But it's up to you.
Okay.
To where we're going to play a hip-hop song and a rock song.
Okay.
And you just get off a little bit.
Okay.
We cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, come on. Say no more. All right. We're going to watch her get off. All right, we just wrapped up a fire interview with the legend. So now we're going to present a segment we like to call Roulette, where we play 2 to 3 different songs and just let the elite person move. They don't know what song we playing. It's going to be 2 different genres, and they're going to just move. About 30 seconds apiece. You know, let's see how they get down. Let's go. Yeah.
Hey, yo, big up to Gemini.
Whoa, chill. Easy. Whoa. Yeah, chill. Come on with the sauce. Yeah. Come on. All right, here we go. Number 2. Number 2, baby. Here we go. Come on. Okay. Come on, let's go. You got it. All good. See, we not scripted. Real time, baby. Yeah, come on. Woo! Yeah. Look at that switch up. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. Come on. Yes, off the floor where we handle stuff on the floor. Woo!